by checking our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook accounts. We check our Facebook, text, notifications before we check on our loved ones. And at night, instead of sharing stories over dinner, we share jokes on the family Viber group. If these have become our daily routine, then most likely, we've been waking up to and going to bed with news, some fake, mostly real, I think. Someone once said that if it's fake, it isn't news, it's propaganda, misrepresentation, misinformation, or to put it more bluntly, outright lies. So I think that first, we should differentiate news from opinion. The term news is defined as a report of recent events. Opinion, on the other hand, is a view or judgment formed about something that is not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. Currently, the term fake news, as used by the public, means a wide array of things, from false reports to propaganda and to true reports that have been spun out of proportion. This nation is churning out fake news in an industrial scale that it seems that while manufacturing is down, fake news factories are booming, and that while agriculture output is low, that of troll farms is high. Fake news has become so pervasive through the use of bots and trolls, and these fake accounts are able to sway public opinion, shape civic discourse, affect social interaction, and influence government. It is not only in politics that fake news is blurring the truth and deepening the divide. It has encroached in other fields as well. Fake news is the e-version of the budol-budol, which many of our people, unable to distinguish fact from fiction, fall victims to. It is not even far-fetched that in the future, fake news can trigger wars. Alam niyo mga kababayan, the internet is important to us, but it has also its weaknesses which fake news has exploited. First, broadband should have made us broad-minded. But thanks to fake news, it has kept many of us imprisoned in our own narrow political beliefs. Hindi nga ba internet is deemed to be an instrument for liberation technology? But now it is being used somehow to enslave people to a certain dogma. Kaya nga ang sabi nila, fake news is in the eye of the beholder. Who determines it through his colored lenses? Dilaw? Pula? Asul? Yan, mga kababayan ko, ang resulta ng ating color-coded politics. Imbis alamin kung magaling ang isang ideya, ang unang tanong kaagad ay kung saan kampo galing yan. Second, while the internet also promotes connectivity, it has sadly been used to erect firewalls within and among us that prevent dialogue dahil maraming natatakot. Baka mabuli. And when conversation does not happen, the forging of consensus so essential toward democracy is affected. Kaya nga third, hindi lang usaping legal or political ang pagsusuri ng fake news phenomenon. Dapat din pag-aralan ang sociological impact nito. Has fake news doomed civilized debate, turning it into shouting matches, dividing families and friends? Has fake news created a cynical citizenry, distrustful of authority and even our very institutions? Has it embroiled us in a permanent state of cyber war? We also have to ask that while it is the role of each individual to vet sources and check facts, what is the role of the government in addressing the lack of news literacy? Should news literacy be required by schools? In Taiwan, school kids are now being taught media literacy in an effort to help them identify news from hoaxes. Bagamat madali tayong magalit sa fake news, hindi madaling solusyonan ito. There are free speech considerations. Media opposition to the government is not new. In fact, media is nicknamed the fourth estate or the fourth branch of government because it is expected to perform the role of a watchdog. It is expected to provide a check against the abuses of the other branches of the state. A blogger should also not be penalized for his views. But just how far can journalists or ordinary individuals go in speaking against the government? Paano mo ituturo ang online do's and don'ts sa mahigit 100 milyong tao? First, how far before free speech can be called libel? Today, under Republic Act 10175 or the Cybercrime Prevention Act, libel, as defined in Article 355 of the Revised Penal Code, is committed through a computer system or any other similar means which may be devised in the future is considered a cybercrime offense. The Penal Code, libel is committed when a person makes against another a public and malicious imputation of a crime or a vice or defect, real or imaginary, or any act, omission, condition, status, or circumstance tending to cause the dishonor, discredit, or contempt of a natural or juridical person, or to blacken the memory of one who is dead. In several cases, the Supreme Court held that for libel to hold water in the case of public officials or public figures, the higher standard of actual malice must be satisfied to attain conviction. Actual malice or malice, in fact, is committed when the offender makes the defamatory statement that the knowledge that it is false or with reckless disregard of whatever it is false or not. In proving actual malice, the burden of proof lies with the offended party. Second, when people in authority habitually employ alternative facts that it fuels the fake news phenomenon, can they be held liable? The phenomenon of junk news and its dissemination over social media platforms have transformed, some say, destroyed political debates. It is important to ask these questions because unlawful means of publication and unlawful utterances is already penalized by Article 154 of the Penal Code. Under our law, any person who printed, published, or caused to be published as news any false news which may endanger public order or cause damage to the interest or credit of the state shall be punished. The same applies for any person who by the same means or by words, utterances, or speeches shall encourage disobedience to the law or to the constituted authorities or praise, justify, or extol any act punished by law. Alam niyo po, nung pumasok ako sa politika, ang sabi ko, minomoisturize ko na yung balat ko ng Teflon para hindi tumalab sa akin ang mga puna. May mga sobrang tawa na siya na. Sabi ko sa sarili ko, the politician who complains against criticism is like a ship captain who complains about the sea. In short, par for the course. Nang nagsimula ang online bashing, lalo na nung nakaraang halalan, ang sabi ko sa sarili ko, the price of incumbency is eternal bashing. Pero lately, napapansin ko, kailangan ng may pushback sa mga maling balita kasi apektado na rin ang ating demokrasya. If unchecked, fake news cultivates a culture of lying. If purveyors are allowed to get away with their lies, they embolden government officials to also lie in order to escape accountability, crush dissent, and commit illegal acts with impunity. If fake news is not challenged, it will create lynch mobs out of certain people, turning them into an army of character assassins who can be unleashed with just one meme to destroy an idea, a person, or an institution. At merong panganib din na ang maling online behavior ay siyang maging asta natin sa totoong buhay. Kung hahayaan natin yan, baka lumaki ang mga bata ngayon na intolerant sa pananaw ng iba at madaling maniwala sa haka-haka. We need to expose them to a kind of conversation that educates and enlightens, that relies on the truth and not the kind that disrespects facts. We need to teach them that they can disagree without being disagreeable, that when arguing, they should focus on substance and never on slurs. In this hearing, we will try to address these issues and more. If we want to regulate news, are we technologically capable of doing that? Will legislation possibly create a chilling effect on all of us? In the same manner that we are considering punishing individual purveyors of fake news, shouldn't we also hold public officials who release wrong and misleading information accountable? Perhaps our resource persons, Dean Tony Lavinia or Professor Florin Hilbay, can explain briefly the implications of these statements to us laymen. I will give also my colleagues, of course, the chance to ask the resolution that was filed, and upon the request of my colleagues, I would like to acknowledge and thank the presence of our Majority Leader, Senator Tito Soto, who is here with us, Senator Manny Pacquiao, and Senator Kiko Pangilinan. And then, before I introduce our resource persons, Senator Tito Soto has an opening statement, as well as Senator Pacquiao.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you for calling this public hearing. I know that I was able to somewhat trigger the committee to do this since I took on the floor because of I don't know what to call it, but anyway, part of technology. And so allow me very briefly, Madam Chair, technology, which has become an integral part of our society and in fact our everyday living. It's part of everything we do now, including learning, teaching, part of work, simple and complex things, communicate. Well, it actually simplifies many ways, in so many ways now. There are countless ways on how technology positively affects us. However, it also provides a rich environment for criminal activity. Now, in the United States, cybercrime or computer crime is one of the top concerns. Cybercrimes were first reported and became evident in the 1970s, and it continues to grow and evolve over time. Despite the greater awareness and advanced countermeasures, cybercrimes continue to climb. Every day, smarter criminals find creative and innovative ways to perpetrate cybercrimes. In the Philippines, according to an article from the Department of Justice by Assistant Secretary Geronimo C., it was only in 2000 when the I Love You virus was unleashed globally that placed the country on the global cyber map, which led to the passage of the first anti-cybercrime law. That is the E-Commerce Act of 2000. Although the first law that comprehensively dealt really with cybercrimes is Republic Act 10175, otherwise known as the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. Now, according to the Philippine National Police, Madam Chair, anti-cybercrime group, the unit of the PNP, in 2015 said that the top 5 cybercrime complaints received were 1. Online scams, 2. Online libel, 3. Online threats, 4. Identity theft, and 5th, photo and video voyeurism. However, for the year 2016, topping the most common complaints are 1. Online libel, 2. Online scams, 3. Identity theft, 4. Online threats, and still in the 5th spot is photo and video voyeurism. Now, recently, cyber criminals are proliferating fake and or misleading news and false information. as well as publishing articles that imputed malicious accusations against public officials. Of course, we feel that the intent is to cause damage or destroy a government institution like the Senate, which are treated as the version of truth for some and influence public opinion on the person or institution, the subject of the article. Now, what makes the situation worse is the fact that these criminals are hiding behind or through false names and or fake websites. Sabi nga nila mga duwag. Because in the past, those who went against the Marcoses were not afraid to show off their faces. They were on the streets. Harapan lumalaban. Eh ngayon, malalakas ang loob nitong iba dahil titirayan ng gobyerno, nagtatago sa likod ng mga computer. Madam Chair, we, the government officials, are at the center of this issue. We are the usual victims of these fake news and online libels. I hope that in this hearing we could uncover those behind the fake names and or fake websites and determine where to draw the line between freedom of speech and indecency or criminality, and find solutions to this problem through legislation. Perhaps, Madam Chair, the incident is a blessing in disguise on the so-called resolution that excluded 7 senators. I find it as a blessing in disguise because on my part, I've been bashed a number of times. I was the favorite victim of cyberbullies since 2012 in the issue of the RH bill. So I take it in stride. It's all right. If you don't like me, you don't like my face, you don't like what I stand for, you don't believe in the statements that I'm saying, it's fine with me. Okay lang, kahit anong pinta sasabihin mo. But once you start hitting me and calling me names and charging me with crimes that I did not commit, my first option is to hunt you down. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Soto. Senator Manny Pacquiao and then Senator Kiko will have their opening statements.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Alam ba ninyo kung ano ang nakapukaw sa aking galit noong nakaraang linggo? Yung mga news report na nasabing only 7 out of 23 senators did not sign the resolution calling to stop the killings of minors. Dahil sa PS Resolution 516, isa ako sa 7 senador na binatikos sa social media dahil hindi kami nakapirma sa nasabing resolution. Pinapalabas na suportado namin ang extrajudicial killings at pagpatay sa mga inosente. Hindi po ito tama na sabihing hindi pumirma ang taong hindi naman nabigyan ng pagkakataon na pumirma. Ni anino nga ng resolution, hindi ko nakakita eh. Ayon sa press release mula kay Atty. Herminio Bagro III, Chief of Staff ng opisina ni Senador Kiko Pangilinan, nagpadala sila ng kopya ng resolution sa official email nila Senators Richard Gordon, Gringo Honasan, Cynthia Villar, Miguel Subiri at Majority Leader Vicente Soto III. Paano po ako makapirma sa isang resolution na hindi ko natanggap, nabasa, o napag-aralan? Hindi ito nagkataon lang. Ito ay sinadya. Kaming dalawa ni Senate President Coco Pimentel ay hindi kasama sa listahan ng mga pinadalhan. Hindi ito nagkataon lang, ito ay sinadya. Si Senator De Lima na nakakulong ay nakapirma. Hindi ito nagkataon lang, ito ay sinadya. Madam Chair, pinpigilan ko lang yung galit ko. Hindi naman ako pinanganak kahapon o hindi kami pinanganak kahapon para hindi namin malalaman ang mga katangahan na ginagawa nila sa amin. Hindi na bago sa akin ang binabatikos ang minamaliit sa social media. Nasanay na ako niyan. Inaatake ang aking pagkatao at nadadamay pati rin ang aking pamilya. Pero hindi dahil nasanay na ako, hindi pwede ko nang palampasin ito. If news is considered as the rough draft of history, I don't want to be written in this manner and be remembered as someone who supports the killing of the innocents because that is not true. Uulitin ko po, kinokondina ko ang mga pagpatay sa mga inosente, lalo-lalo na ang mga batang walang kamuang-muang. Ako man ay lubos na nanghihinayang sa mga buhay na nasasayang. Hindi dahil hindi nagawang pumirma sa resolusyon na ito, ay nangangahulugan pabor na kami sa mga pangyayaring karahasan sa lansangan. The issue is how we were projected on media. The claim that we refused to sign is totally unfair and misleading. The news reports that came out were deceptive and malicious. Ito ay sinadya upang kami ay siraan at sirain. Maliwanag pa sa sikat ng araw yan. This is not merely an attack to an individual, to the so-called 7 deadly sins, but an attack to the Senate as an institution. We do not want to be remembered as senators who refuse to put an end to the senseless killings. Sa mga vloggers, katulad ng mga nasa likod ng Facebook page na #SilentNoMore, I respect the people's freedom and expression. Malaya tayo. Malaya po tayong magpahayag ng ating opinion, pabor man o hindi sa administration. Ngunit, huwag nating kalimutan ang ating responsibilidad na magsabi ng totoo na may respeto. Even our rights have limitations. Our right to express our opinions does not give us the right to maliciously attack other people. To the news reports of mainstream media who committed an international error in the report, it is your responsibility to correct your misleading and deceptive reports. Ang fake news ay parang lason na dahan-dahang sumisira sa ating mga kaisipan, sa ating lipunan at sa ating bansa. Karapatan po natin na malaman ang katotohanan. Umaasa ako na sa pamagitan nitong committee hearing, malaman natin ang punot dulo ng isyong ito at mahinto itong paglaganap ng lason na nakakasira ng kaisipan ng mga taong walang kaalam-alam sa katotohanan. Madam Chair, before anything else, mamaya na lang ako mag-move for request to Kukoy. If he's not here, I will move to invite her in the Senate to attend the hearing.
Senator Pacquiao, I think you were referring to a certain Kokoy Dayaw. We would like you to know that we sent him an invitation, but for some reason he's not present here today. Again, that might affirm our suspicion all along that there are certain people hiding behind the curtain of anonymity. But before we continue on that, Senator Kiko Pangilinan has a brief opening statement as well.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, and to our distinguished colleagues in the Senate and our resource persons. Magandang umaga po sa kanilang lahat. Nabanggit din lang po yung Senate Resolution 516 at yung pagruruta nito. Nais po nating bigyang diin na base sa mga pangyayari at based on the facts at hindi ho sa fake news, ito ho ang naganap. No? Yung resolution po was filed September 25, Monday. Nung Miyerkules, September 20, or 5 days before the filing, 16 na senator na po ang pumirma sa resolusyon. Ang instruction ko sa ating Chief of Staff ay hanapan pa ng paraan para makakuha pa ng dagdag ng mga pirma. At base sa instruction na ito, on 12:22 p.m. of Thursday, September 21, the following day, my office sent a copy of the resolution to the publicly available as well as official emails of other senators. Senators Gordon, Honasan, Villar, Subiri, and the Majority Leader. In the email on September 21, 4 days before we filed it, we had informed our colleagues that 16 senators had already signed the resolution and that we requested that if they were willing to sponsor it. Senator Gordon's office acknowledged receipt of the email on September 21 at 4:41 p.m. So that was Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday at 5:30 p.m., September 25, we filed the resolution. So on the following day, September 26, at 3:35 p.m. during the session, the Senate resolution was read on the floor. Binasa ho ito, stating the title and the names of the 16 co-authors. At nirefer po ng ating Senate President sa committee ni na Senators Lacson at Ontiveros. So, base ho dito, kung nais po namin ilihim sa mga kapwa nating senador, dapat siguro hindi na ho namin pinadala ng email at dapat ho siguro ay basta na lang natin final. At so sana po, base dyan sa paliwanag na yan, ay maliwanagan ang ilan nating mga kasamahan at ang media na wala hong attempt na ito'y ilihim sa mga kapwa nating senador. At kung merong mang hindi magandang naging reporting, ay wala na po sa atin yan. At alam naman po natin kung gaano katindi ang fake news, ang paninira, kaliwat kanan sa social media. At dahil nga riyan, tayo po ang isa sa mga nag-author ng resolusyon para ho imbestigahan ng fake news matagal na po. I think 3 or 4 months ago. And we're thankful that we are now hearing this morning. Pero nalilihis ho tayo dun sa usapin ng fake news. Balikan lang po natin very briefly ang fake news. Pag-usapan po natin. Balikan po natin yung kaso po ni Kian. Last August, sabi po ni Senior Superintendent Chito Bersaluna, under oath, and he verified that Kian de los Santos as a drug pusher na verify nila through social media. Hindi po ba? Sabi, nakita na daw sa balita sa social media na may connection daw si Kian sa drugs. And I quote, "We base some information na lumalabas sa social media. Yun lang po basis namin, sir, after na nung incident, sir." The backlash after the statement was profound. Filipinos took to social media to express their outrage towards the use of online platforms to justify or be the basis for such operations. Netizens took to defending the memory of Kian against an onslaught of internet trolls bent on politicizing the tragedy. Cautionary art cards became viral, and events organized online translated into mass protests offline. Yung ganitong pag-apaw ng sentimento, pakikiramay ng mga tao mula sa malayo, this is what social media and the internet affords us. There are many more instances in our recent history, ladies and gentlemen, that show the positive aspect as well as the flaws of social media. Positive because it allows easy access to information that was not readily available before. Positive because it allows for a space where people are able to express their thoughts on issues. Positive because it bridges gaps to allow conversation between fellow men, between the politician and the people they are serving. Such dialogue is important for a robust democracy. Democracy demands dissent.